Thank you for being here. Do you know that we are live? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's conversation. Welcome, welcome. Many parents are doing everything right, yet still raising children who struggle. Welcome here. Welcome to today's conversation. Today's topic is what a modern parent needs to raise a whole child. Many parents are doing everything right, yet their children are still struggling. Yet it seems like everything is not adding up. What is the problem? So, welcome here. My name is Ruth Ikhabomeh, and welcome to the Equitable Parent Hub. I am the founder of this platform. You are welcome to today's Parenting Truth. Welcome to today's conversation. Okay. So now, what does a modern parent need to be able to raise a whole child? What does a modern parent truly need? Because in today's world, parenting is no longer just about feeding, schooling, and providing. Those days, the wideness of your farm. If you are for most of our parents were farmers in those days, so it's the number of you. It depends on the number of children that you can be able to bear that will join you in farming. But nowadays, children are more sensitive. It requires a lot to be able to raise children in today's world. So now, what do modern parents need? Is it just giving them yam, taking them to school? What else do today's modern children need? Because in today's world, parenting is quite different. Parenting is different. It requires a lot. We are raising children in a fast-changing world, a world of pressure, distractions, of emotional challenges, and constant influence. Many people, many influence, many voices, many cultures are around us today. So the goal is no longer just to raise a good child. Many of us, we are still having that mindset that we want our children to just be good children. So that's why we flog, that's why we yell, that's why we still do all the reactive kind of parenting, because we want to be able to raise a good child. But that should not be your goal today. That should no longer be your goal after today's class. Okay? Your goal is to be able to raise a whole child. A whole child. Now, who is a whole child? Or what is a whole child? A whole child is not just academically sound. Many of us, we just want our children. We even go to every essence to make sure that they come top of their class. We don't know what the emotional state is, or the emotional state is. We just want them to be academically sound, forgetting that there are other parts of a human being that will make that human whole. Okay, who is a whole child? The whole child is not just academically sound. The whole child is emotionally aware. He's emotionally aware. He's mentally strong. Is socially confident, is able to make wise decisions. In simple terms, a whole child can function well in life with or without supervision. That is a whole child. A whole child can function in life with or without supervision. They don't need somebody to be carrying cane around. They don't need to be yelled out to know what to do. They know they are intrinsically led. They are intrinsically led. They are led from within. They don't need to be supervised to know what to do. Now, what modern parents requires? We have defined who a whole child is. A whole child is someone who can lead themselves, who we've been able to raise, because this is a community, this is a parenting community. We are raising parents who raise leaders, because parenting is about leadership. How are you able to lead yourself? If you have not led yourself, you can't be able to lead another person. You can't lead your children. So that is why you should lead yourself first. Parenting is leadership. Okay. So now, what modern parents requires? The first ingredient a modern parent requires is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Children must learn how to express feelings. Okay, regulate emotions, handle frustration. Many of us, we just okay, they are just children. We just allow them. They don't know how to regulate emotions. Even we ourselves, the parents, we are still struggling to regulate our emotions. That's why we are reactive. That's why we yell. That's why when we are triggered, we flog them like animals. We have koboko. In this time and age, some parents still have koboko in their houses. They have canes in their houses, which is not appropriate to raise a whole child. Okay, children must learn how to express their feelings, regulate emotions, handle frustration. A child who cannot manage emotions will struggle in relationships, will struggle in decision making. So that is the first ingredient for you to be able to raise a whole child, is to be able to raise a child who is emotionally intelligent. Your goal is to raise a child who is emotionally intelligent, not just because it starts with you. It starts with you. How are you able to regulate yourself? How are you emotionally intelligent, or you are just you are out there, you are put together, you are sound, you behave well out there, but in your house you are something else. You are something else. You are very dramatic. Anything that happens, you're all over the place. You are biting, you are pinching, you are knocking, you are flogging. Are you emotionally intelligent? Or you are causing havoc within your children? Or you are even causing sibling rivalry amongst your children with the way you talk, with the way you handle conflict amongst them? Are you able to handle your own emotion intelligently? Okay, that's the first ingredient you need to be able to raise a whole child in today's world. The second ingredient you need to be able to raise a whole child is intentional discipline. Intentional discipline. I've been saying on this platform, discipline is not punishment. Discipline, you hear many of those parents, they'll tell you that you need to discipline the child. How can you say that you will not flog? Their mindset about discipline is what? Their mindset about discipline is what? Is flogging. Discipline means flogging. Discipline means slapping. Discipline means you become an Indoboski parent. When something happens, you are easily triggered. You are shivering, and you are ranting. Everybody knows that you are disciplined. That is not discipline. Discipline is to be able to raise a whole child, you need to intentionally discipline them. What is now discipline? Discipline is no longer about fear or control. So most parents mindset about discipline is really, really whacked. It's really, really dysfunctional. So that is why we need to learn this parenting is a learned skill. You don't have to continue parenting in the way that, okay, you say what is it called, you say you are doing what your parents gave to you, you are trying your best, you are doing your best with what your parents gave to you. It is not enough. The times are changed. We are living in a change world. We are living in a change time. You need more awareness. You need more structure. You need more system to be able to do parenting wholly. To be able to parent your child wholly, you need more systems. Okay? So that is why discipline it's no longer about fear or control. It's not about controlling your child, carrying cane around, using cane to supervise your child. I've told you people about the story of a guest I had sometime. She said, control her 10-year-old child, control him very well, because the young man is supposed to follow me out. So we have this mindset that our children are supposed to be controlled. They are always supposed to be controlling them. They are supposed to be in fear. They're supposed to be in fear, and that fear that we are using to discipline our children stifles growth. It stifles that thriving child you want, that champion, that excellent child you want. Fear stifles them. It makes them not to become the excellent child you truly desire. Okay? So now what is discipline? Discipline is about teaching responsibility. Discipline is about teaching responsibility. Discipline is guiding behavior. Discipline is building self-control. Discipline is guiding behavior. Discipline is teaching responsibility. Discipline is building self-control. Self-control. Parenting is leadership. You first of all be able to, because everything you are, your children are absorbing it. They are soaking everything that you are. So are you able to control yourself, or you are just living, you're just flowing, and then you're telling your children, do what I say and not what I do? No, they will do what you are doing. Okay, are you self-controlled yourself? So that is the second ingredient you need to be able to raise a whole child. Intentional discipline. Are you self-controlled yourself, or you are just telling your children to be self-controlled, and then you are living anyhow? Okay, so modern parenting requires firmness and kindness. Firmness and kindness. So most of us, we are what is it called now? We are trying to do tough love. We are tough. We are doing tough love. When our children ask us questions, we'll be sarcastic or we are rude to them. And then when they are rude to us, we say, "Oh, where do you learn that from?" Meanwhile, we were the one that led them on that path. Okay, so discipline is about teaching responsibility. Are you responsible yourself? Are you responsible for your action? Or you are just, when you are triggered, you are all over the place, you are acting up, you are flogging, you are beating, you are hitting because you are triggered. So now what is discipline? I've told us discipline is teaching responsibility. The third ingredient that you need to be able to raise a whole child is presence over presence. Many parents are busy out there. They are just working. They're trying to get presents, trying to buy stuff for their children. They are buying dolls. They are buying gifts. They are just buying. But then you are never present in their life. You don't know what they are going. Most of your children are being molested right under your roofs. Right under your roofs. But you don't know. You don't know what they are watching. You don't know what's going on in their lives. You are just busy trying to get them present. But parenting, to be able to raise a whole child, they need your presence. They need your presence and not just your presence. Okay? Children don't just need things. They need your attention. They need your listening ear. They need your connection. Most of us parents, our children comes and they're telling us something, but then we are busy, we are lost, we are still lost in our day, we are still lost on what happened there, and then we are not connecting. But your children need your connection. They need to be able to know that you are there for them, you are available for them. So that is what your children need, not your presence, not that presence you are just thinking you're just planning how the present you are planning to get. That's what that is what you are lost in thoughts in. But presence, it is very important to your child. Presence over presence. Don't be all over the place trying to get presents, but be all about giving them your healthy self, giving them your whole self. Those are the things you need to be able to raise a whole child. Those are the things you need to be able to raise you need your whole self. You need your whole self. So stop giving your children crumbs. Stop giving your children crumbs. You are bringing what is it called, leftover. You come back home, you are exhausted, you are tired, you are frustrated, you've given all of yourself from your day, and then you come back home, maybe they have even slept safe, or you don't have more any energy again to relate with these children, to connect with these children. Why? Because you have exhausted yourself. But that is not how to raise a whole child. If you want to be able to raise a whole child, you need to be able to balance these things. You need to be able to put your priorities right. You need to be able to put your priorities right to be able to raise a whole child. Your priorities should be right. Your priorities should be right. Okay? Your children need your connection. Many children today are materially provided for, but emotionally disconnected. Like I just said, many of your children are being molested. They are right under your roofs, right under your nose, right under you. Many things are going on because you are not aware. You have a lot of material stuff for them. You have a lot of gifts for them, but then they are struggling. And you have no inkling about it. You don't even know what's going on in their world. You are just busy. When they are trying to connect with you, you are lost. You cannot connect because you are wounded yourself. You are wounded yourself. That is why you need to go on this parenting skill journey. You need to skill yourself as a parent. Parenting is a learned skill. You cannot work with what you experience. You were parented and then you just feel you from what your parents did to you, I can parent another child. That is not enough. That is not enough. You need more to be able to parent your child properly. Okay, you need more to be able to parent your child properly. So sorry about that. So you need more to be able to parent your child properly. Okay, so connect your children, give them your presence over presence. Then the fourth ingredient you need to be able to raise a whole child is clear values and character building. Clear values and character building. A whole child must know what is right. So let your values be clear. Let not be, you know where you are coming from. You know whose child you are. You know the family where you are coming from. That is not enough. Let your value be. Let it be a lived. Let it be lived. Let it be something that let it be something that is lived out every day. Everybody lives that value. Not today you are honest, tomorrow somebody is trying to do something and then you have to lie. That is not living your value. Let your value be clear cut. Let it be clear. Let your value be let your values be clear. Okay? Let your values be clear and let there be character building in your home. Your home space should be where where you build character. These are the ingredients you need to be able to raise a whole child. Your home should be a space where you build character. Okay, a whole child must know what is right, what is wrong, what they stand for. Not that okay, today you're telling them, oh, this is what okay, you just assume they should know. You tell your child, okay, you know what this family stands for, right? You know what we stand for, and then you are not saying anything else. After telling them you know, then what else? Did you spread it out? Do you leave it out? Do you leave out those cards? Do you create an environment where it's meant for building character, or you just want them to live in fear? You just want to control them. You just want to always make them fear. You want them to act from fear and not from being led by values, by being led by characters. Okay, you just want them to be led by fear. So that is not value building. That is not character building. That is not clear values. Okay, values like honesty, values like respect and responsibility must be taught and modeled daily. It's a daily thing. It's not something that you leave. You say, okay, this year we are going to be standing for these things in this family. This is who we are going to be. Oh, in this family we are going to be this. We are going to be that. But by the time it's getting to maybe the 15th of January, everybody's already winding down, everything is going down, and then these are the promises, the new year resolution you made. You cannot leave that. We cannot keep doing life that way. You cannot keep doing life that way. Okay, get systems, get structures. Is what we offer you in the Steward Tribe. These are the stuffs we offer. These are the systems we offer you in Steward Tribe. You'll be able to do them for yourself. Nobody will come and give it to you. You will do it for yourself. You'll be able to build a very strong, value-driven home. You'll be able to build a purpose-driven home for yourself, for your children. Okay? So that's the fourth ingredient you need to be able to raise a whole child. That's the fourth ingredient you need to be able to raise a whole child. Then number 5 is consistency and structure. Consistency and structure. Consistency. Children thrive in environments where where expectations are clear. Children thrive in environments where expectations are clear, not environments where where expectations are clear, not just environments where you just tell them that okay, you are very unpredictable. Tell yourself that my child don't know what I will do. They don't know. They just know that their mother is hot. They just know that their father is hot. They know that I am a very hot person. You tell yourself that. But to be able to raise a whole child, you need to be consistent. You need to be consistent. You need to be consistent in your discipline. You need to be consistent in practicing your value. You need to be consistent. Okay, it's not something you do today and then tomorrow you are changing. You are changing to something else. That is not how you can raise a whole child in today's world. You cannot raise a whole child that way in today's world. You need to be consistent in whatever you are doing. Okay. If you are standing with values, you are standing with character, stick to them consistently. Stick to them consistently. And then you need to be able to have structure. Children thrive where there are structures, where expectations are clear, where rules are stable. Where consequences are predictable. That's where children thrive. Okay, not an unpredictable environment. Okay, you are your child's first environment. You are your child's first environment. That's why you need to heal yourself. That's why you need to do this healing work. You need to work on yourself. You need to work on your emotions. You need to work on your emotions so that you can connect. Okay, so you are your child's first environment because when rules are stable, expectations are clear, your child knows what to expect. Consequences will be predictable. They knows if I do B, I will get C. If I do D, I will get E. Why? Because you have been consistently predictable. Everybody knows what to expect. That is being predictable. That is being predictable. Okay, inconsistent parenting creates confusion. That's why you go to a lot of home, you see confusion, everybody's yelling, everybody's shouting, there's a lot of drama. But then when you go out there, you see those same people, they are very organized, they are very, but go to their home, you will see a lot of drama, you see a lot of confusion, nobody knows what to do, nobody, because daddy is angry. Daddy is angry, so therefore, because daddy is angry, you should be in fear. Mommy is angry, so everybody else should be, everybody in the home should be in fear. So that's not how to raise a whole child. That's not how you should be raising a whole child. Another ingredient to consider when you are trying to raise a whole child is adaptability and learning. Adaptability and learning. Modern parenting requires growth. Modern parenting requires growth. What works before may not work now. Okay, adaptability and learning. Okay, in your parents' days, flogging used to work, even though it stifles. Even though you believe that it was flogging that brought you, that made you whoever you are today, but the truth is you have to be able to learn and then adapt to the changes. If the parents flogged you, or parents did it to you, and then that's why you are sound. But you need to be able to learn. You need to be able to sit up and sit with yourself and know what is better. Flogging your child, yell everybody. You after flogging your child, you feel guilty. You feel guilty, and then you overcompensate. You start overcompensating. You start going out of the way and start giving the things you are not supposed to even give in the first place. So that is why you should not do reactive parenting, because if you do reactive parenting, at the end of the day you will do reactive consequences. You give reactive consequences. You are just trying to, because you feel guilty for hitting your child, you feel guilty for slapping your child, you feel guilty after flogging your child, then you say, yeah, come and take this one, come and take that one, come and carry my phone, because you were not supposed to be reactive, but then you were reactive. That is not how to steward your parenting. That is not how to lead in your parenting. Okay, parenting is to be able to be intentional about your actions. Okay, because what worked before may not work today. It is not working again, because we are living in a completely changed world. We are living in fact, what was obtainable 2 years ago is not obtainable again. I went to shop somewhere today. I was telling the woman that I was buying from something we used to buy for 500 naira before. You cannot even get it with 2,000 naira anymore. You cannot get that same stuff for 2,000 naira anymore. Why? Because the times have changed. The world has changed very, very drastically. The world has changed drastically. Everything has changed. Times have changed. So you cannot be living in your past world and telling yourself, oh, this is how my parents did it. No, you cannot continue doing it that way, because it has changed. Things have changed. Okay. So you have to be able to learn and adapt. Modern parenting requires growth. What worked? Parents must learn new approaches. You must learn how to discipline in a healthy way without damaging the identity of your child. You must learn how to discipline without damaging the identity of your child. Many of us, the discipline we learned was to shame, was to flog, was to compare. Those were the kind of discipline we learned. But there are better ways to be able to discipline our children. There are better ways to be able to discipline our children, because what worked before is not working again. I just told us the scenario of one today. So something we used to buy for 500 naira, you cannot even buy it for 2,000 naira anymore. Even 3,000, I don't think you can buy that stuff for 3,000 naira anymore. So things have changed. If the economy have changed that much, so why do you think your parenting will still be the same? No, the parenting has changed everything. The world is a completely different space now, so you cannot use what was given to you by your parents to parent your own children. You cannot parent your children the same way. So that is why you need to learn new skills. You need to be trained as a parent. You need to be trained. The Bible says, train up a child. Train up a child. The trainer needs to be trained, because how can you train when you are not trained? You need to be trained to where you can be able to do this parenting properly. Learn new approaches, understand your child's uniqueness. Your child is unique. Your child is not like the other the people that you compare them with. Oh, on your street, this person is doing that, this person is doing, the other person is doing that. Your child is unique. Okay? So adjust without losing value. You should be able to adjust without losing value. Adjust without losing value. Then the seventh ingredient you need to be able to raise a whole child is boundaries and protection. Boundaries and protection. Not everything and everyone should have access to your child. Not everything and everyone should have access to your child. You go to most homes, there are no media guide, there are no media plan. Your children, in fact, most of us, we buy phones, we buy tablets and hand it over to our children. We hand it over to these children that are still growing up. We give them phones. They have access to the internet. Young children have access to the internet, and then when you tell them that this thing is wrong, they are making them lose focus. They'll tell them, the things that those children know, you don't know them. It's not about knowing. It's not about what they know. Okay? So not everything should have access to your child. Parents must protect their child's emotional space. How do you protect your child's emotional space? By protecting, by guiding, and by checking what gets access to your children, by checking what gets access to your children. It's not everything that should just go. It's not everyone that should just have access to your children. Oh, it's my uncle from the village. Oh, it's my father's uncle. It's my mother's younger cousin, my mother's nephew. You just allow them, and then you are going to work. You lock your room, and then you leave them with the nanny, the untrained nanny, and you just walk away. So all those things are not protection. So you should be able to have boundaries around your children. That's how to raise whole children. Parents must protect their child's space, their child's environment, their child's influence. Okay, you need to be involved in your child's life. So stop saying, oh, I don't want to control them. And then you are still controlling them by flogging them by. I told us of a story of the parent I was telling on Sunday. I said, your child is not your friend. She is not your friend, and you are not her friend. She said, no, I'm your friend, yeah, but I will still flog you when you misbehave. How does that correlate? It doesn't correlate at all. You are telling your child that you are her friend, and then you are going to flog her. You are going to flog her. It doesn't correlate at all. At all. So you should be able to set boundaries. Heal yourself, parents. Heal yourself. Boundaries are not rejection, they are protection. Okay, boundaries are protection, not rejection. So, but the reality many parents face today, many parents are busy but not present. Many parents are busy, are looking for money, are trying to get presents for your children, they are everywhere. You are not present, loving but not guiding, providing but not connecting. And the result is children who struggle emotionally. Our children will struggle emotionally because we were never there giving them our presence. We never gave them our presence. Okay? So now they struggle emotionally, they struggle to, they seek validation. They seek validation from people. They lack discipline. Okay? They lack discipline because they are seeking validation outside the home, seeking validation from strangers, seeking validation from unknown people. This is why modern parenting must be intentional and not just reactive, not just accidental, not just, oh, please, that's do what works for you. You tell yourself, do what works for you. You raise your own child now. You raise your own family now and leave my own family. Let me do what works for me. No, it's not about what works for you. It's about being intentional. It's about being deliberate, being purposeful in all you do. That is what parenting is about. Okay, stop doing what works for you. There's a right way. There is a right way. So now ask yourself, am I raising a child who only performs well, or a child who is whole and grounded? Am I raising a child who only performs well, or a child who is whole and grounded? Because success without emotional strength is fragile. Success without emotional strength is fragile. You should be able to raise a child who is strong emotionally, who can stand even stand every test that comes their path. So that should be your goal. Emotionally strong children. So now, in raising a whole child is not about perfection. It's not about just jumping into their spaces. They're trying to. That is not how to raise a whole child. Raising a whole child is not about perfection. It's not about intentional. It's all about intentional growth. You need to be able to grow yourself intentionally. Because like I wrote on my Facebook page this morning, if you are not following me on my social media handles, please go there and now and follow me on the Equitable Parents Hub. I wrote this morning that parenting must grow you. Parenting must grow you. So many people reach out to me and say, you are too young. How old is your child? How many children do you even have? And how old is your child that you are talking about parenting? What do you know? And just leave us alone. You don't know so much. Leave us alone. Go and be doing some other things. I said, no, it's not about me doing other things. This is a passion for me. This is what I've always had passion for. So parents need to wake up. You need to allow parenting to grow you. You need to allow this journey to grow you. Stop attacking the things that want to grow you. Okay, parenting exposes the things that the things you need, where the areas where you need growth. Parenting exposes them, and then apply yourself. When you apply yourself, you'll be able to grow for yourself and for this journey. Okay, parenting is a growth journey for both the parent and the child. Your child does not just need your love; they need your leadership. Your child does not just need your love, they need your leadership. That is what parenting is about. Okay? So parenting is not just, it's not, your child does not just, okay, just and just let don't it's gentle parenting. Don't cry, don't cry. They want to cry now, allow them cry. They are children. It's okay for a child, allow your child to cry. They need a parent who is present. They need a parent who is present, who is firm, who is wise, who is emotionally aware, who is consistent. Not the parent that today you are doing something else, tomorrow you are telling the child, do what I say. I said, do it because I said so. That is not intentional parenting. Intentional parent is a wise parent. Is a wise parent. So, and be consistent in whatever your practice. Be consistent in your values. Be consistent in your character building. I want you tell your children, you tell your children, do what you know the family of where you come from, and then you never say anything to them. Okay, and if you are ready to become that kind of parent, you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. Okay, that is why the Steward Tribers program exists. We are supposed to start on the 1st of April, but because of a little adjustment here and there, we are starting on the 1st of May. Please book your slot and just stop doing parenting because your parents, this is how my parents raised me. So if I cannot work with what my parents gave me, and then I'm a failure. Yes, maybe you are a failure. Maybe you have a failure, and failure is part of success. Failure is part of success, and it's not bad to fail. You learn from your failure and you do tremendously well. You do remarkably well afterwards, okay? Because a community of parents committed to raising whole, emotionally grounded, and responsible children are here to be connected with. We have a space of a responsible, committed adult parents who are on the same journey with you, who have the same passion that, oh, I want my child to be whole. I want to raise a whole child. I want to raise a child who is spiritually sound, who is physically sound, who is mentally strong, emotionally strong. They are here to be connected with, and you can connect with them. You'll be surprised they are even living in your environment. Okay, so we are currently onboarding equitable parents. Okay, so book your slot and join us today, because you are not just raising a child, you are raising a whole human being. A whole human being. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much, okay, for being in our class today. I see you all on. Thank you very much for being here. So see you on this same channel and the same time, and then see you in the tribe. See you in the tribe. Okay, see you in the tribe. we are starting the program. So see you in the tribe. Join us. Join us. Don't do parenting. Don't do your parenting. Failure is part of success. Yes. The issue is what you do with failure. Yes. Some of us say that our parents. Are you now saying if I cannot do what my parents do well with what my parents gave me, that means I'm a failure? Even if you are a failure, you can still rise. Failure is part of success. Failure is part of success. The issue is what you do with failure. It's not about failure. Success is not final, and failure is not fatal. Okay, failure is part of success. That you fail, that you have failed, or that you know that your child that is struggling, your 18-year-old is struggling, does not mean that you are done with. You are not. You can still have a reset. You can still have a reset and then do better and still become that whole parent that raised a whole child. You can still start from where you are. So join us on this journey. See you same time next week, Friday. Bye.